The richest man in the world is slated to purchase the microblogging town square social media app, Twitter. Along with a consortium of banks backing Elon Musk's insane purchase, the tech giant's initial purchasing offer of $54 per share, roughly $44 billion, is a 34% premium over share price at the time of offering. With 230 million active users, bots included, sending out over 500 million tweets per day, Musk hopes to take control over the digital town square from shareholders and board members, taking it private over fears that the current state of Twitter is leaning towards an anti-free speech agenda, striking massive debates and increasing divide among far left and far right sympathizers. Elon's move is making a massive shakeup in the share price since his initial "should I buy Twitter" tweet back in the early months of 2022. But after acquiring enough access to Twitter's day-to-day operations and record books to peek behind the curtain, Musk has hit a deal-breaker roadblock in the truthfulness of Twitter's SEC filings involving bot accounts. Either a play to drive share prices lower and open a possible renegotiation, or a true concern that Musk has dug up, which may have larger consequences and almost surely a de-evaluation of the current $44 billion price tag. This is not a Musk story. You'll find a million of them on YouTube with communities of creators solely dedicated to everything Elon Musk related. But to sum up that side of the story in a nutshell, Elon Musk is a next-level super genius, multi-billionaire engineer CEO who is leading humanity through multiple forefront technology corporations. Oh, and Iron Man, loosely based off Elon. Nuff said. And in the blue corner, we have a former podcasting board member's light-minded idea for an internal communications logistics application. Twitter. Founded March 21st, 2006. First introduced by the undergraduate Jack Dorsey at a brainstorming session for board members of the podcasting company Odeo. Dorsey put forth his idea for an individual to use an SMS service to communicate with a small group, later developing the first prototype with contractor Florian Weber to be used as an internal service for Odeo. After unveiling Twitter to the public in a 2007 South by Southwest interactive conference, allowing conference goers to track what other attendees and speakers were doing through conference exclusive tweets. Also displaying these tweets live on two 60-inch plasma screens that they set up in the conference hallways. Launching as a full-fledged social media app shortly after. Twitter rapidly grew from 1 million tweets in the first year, 2007, to 50 million tweets per day as recorded in February 2010. Going public in September 2013 to an initial public offering of $1.8 billion raised giving it a market value of $31 billion. Large corporate hedge fund interest, some being funded primarily by Saudi oil wealth, and controlling activities by a board of members, lead Twitter to operate under a hierarchy of control, where voters were basing decisions off outside mutual self-interest, growing a hostile environment of censorship of individuals with conflicting interests. Skip to today, and you have the ipso facto town square of the digital social space. Microblogging messages are like standing at the community gathering place and voicing an open-aired opinion. Its ability to convey your message and possibly sway other people's opinions can and has impacted social, financial, and political events.
Last Friday night, I tweeted a photograph of myself that I intended to send as a direct message as part of a joke to a woman in Seattle.
Creating a powerful position within controlling interest positions within Twitter. And with that seat of power now possibly shifting from a far-right bias control to a free-thinking, undecided libertarian, a large portion of New World minions are ripping out their multicolored locks. When there's a breaking news headline, you're gonna hear about it almost instantly on Twitter.
Twitter became the preeminent way people got their news. In fact, news often broke on Twitter before mainstream websites announced it.
Occasionally breaking the internet and crashing Twitter apps from hundreds of thousands of tweets per minute processing attempts. Twitter holds more opinion poll weight than any government funding polling data. Billions of tweets per month are just mounds of collectible data for corporations to use to sway decision-making towards polling interests. And with the majority of the 300 million Twitter users forming their opinions based on tweets they enjoy the most, control and manipulation of these tweets has become a strategic command position. Silencing accounts that you don't approve of by blocking accounts and shadow banning has switched the open source platform from a free speech free-for-all to a bot-infested police state. And the bots are what cause all the problems. Bots in this case is a general term. It does include the traditional meaning of fake accounts that are being used by AI algorithms to spam tweets about whatever specific topic. But of greater interest are the fake accounts that are run by humans or robots and are solely tasked with spreading misinformation. Musk has shown a great disdain for these fake accounts, tweeting about needing to address them as a concern long before his interest in purchasing the Twitterverse. So it goes as no surprise that one of Elon's interests when auditing Twitter's records before finalizing the multi-billion-dollar deal is getting to the bottom of how many bot accounts are registered under Twitter's 330 million active users in their SEC filings, to which Twitter estimates 5% to be spam accounts. Elon tweeting that number is possibly closer to 20%. Some 80 million user accounts. Through the process of obtaining Twitter's user account records, Musk appears to not be happy with the lack of information he is receiving on this topic, telling reporters that the deal cannot go ahead until Twitter is able to provide information on exactly how many accounts are possibly fraudulent. Twitter claims this is an impossible to predict figure, despite their ability to establish a solid 5% figure when reporting to SEC filings.
next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out.
So where does it go from here? It can only go down. Despite any rise in share price occurring since Elon's announcement, the $54 share price is virtually capped out at $44 billion. All of the upward movement is solely because of the market's approval of basically anything Musk does. And the following recession is based upon the unearthings from Musk. Finding a toxic work environment predicated on following the narrative passed down by the board members while rewarding any snitching over unruly coworkers, as well as top-level directives towards the mass silencing of accounts that post opinions that are opposed to the set standard of right-wing ideologies. And now, with Musk recently throwing concern with the administration's ability to produce user efficacy documentation. Musk tweeting that he believes spam accounts could be north of 25% of Twitter's total user accounts would be a damning indictment if not true. But as with the validity of all Musk tweets, this opinion would have been carefully scrutinized and fact-checked before Musk's posting. Some people want to say that Musk is merely doing this as a play to deflate the price evaluation of Twitter and possibly open Musk up to a discount. Besides the fact that Elon has already expressed that his interest in the purchase of the social media juggernaut has nothing to do with financial gain, looks more like a guy with $9 billion of recently liquidated capital from the recent Tesla stock sales to pay taxes, burning a hole in his pocket. And after teaming up with nearly any bank not already doing business with Twitter or Twitter board members, he figured he wanted to act now before it was too late and save what he believes is the last stand for free speech platforms. Twitter's inability to produce solid figures on possible bot accounts shows great concern with not only the appraisal of the company, but also the security concern with the app itself. Eliminating junk accounts is an ongoing battle with all social networks. Freeing up the space from these unused accounts is beneficial to site traffic, so having a detailed knowledge about the activities of its users is necessary when evaluating efficacy of user accounts. These same methods should be used to approach bot and fake accounts. Red flags can easily be monitored by AI algorithms scouring user accounts and tweets. Or Musk's opinion on the matter is to charge for the blue checkmark, suggesting even at a small cost, it would be unworthy for most spam accounts to stay operational, as they have a short half-life. And this would become a large expense for disinformation farms. If they can't produce something soon, Musk may very well stall the negotiations to a point that Twitter's evaluation crumbles. Any news that is brought to light would dramatically affect the share price. If their 5% figure was truly accurate, they would have corroborating data to back it up. And yet the saga continues. No matter how this plays out, it's been a win for the good guys. Hordes of people have been celebrating the small wins as they come. Each time Musk exposes some corrupt internal practice or lifts some unlawful account bans, the right seem right again, finally gaining ground on the fight for free speech. CNN being exposed for the fraud it is, and now Twitter's silence seems to point to the obvious enablers of disinformation.